thanks for joining us back in the kitchen today. Next up, we have our lovely guest, eco-conscious lifestyle maven, Cherylyn Tompkins, here to prepare one of her delicious recipes. So let's welcome Cherylyn. Welcome, how are you?
Hi, great, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good to
I
have
appreciate
you.
it.
So Cherylyn, I see that we're not gonna cook anything, we're gonna actually uncook.
We're uncooking because we're doing raw food. So the raw living cuisine movement is actually one that's gaining more and more momentum. It's vegan, but it's also mostly soy-free, and gluten-free. So one of the things that you'll see is we have a lot of veggies that are prepped. And so that's really a majority of the bulk, unless of course you do what I did, which is prep some of the things myself, but also bought things already prepped.
Well, you have a wonderful spread here, so I'm excited for what you're going to prepare for us.
Well, we want to make it as vibrant as possible as well. And I always say, I don't, don't give me a piece of lettuce and think that that's going to satisfy me. So I love food, and I'm very passionate about food. And so some of the things that we have, like the zucchini and the squash, they're going to act as the noodles for the pasta.
Oh, that's a great substitute.
Great substitute. It's got a great texture, and so when you start mixing it with all the different seasoning and flavors, you actually notice that it tastes very similar.
Oh, well, I can see that the texture would be, similar to noodles.
Absolutely. And there's I have a special peeler. It's, you can get it at different places, but it's got 3 blades on it, and you can julienne it, or you can do a flat blade. And when you do that, and I can show it a little bit later if we have some time, it shows how to do fettuccine-sized noodles.
Oh,
so you can have different size, or you can, if you have a mandolin, you can then make it into flat wide strips, and that you can do zucchini style pasta, right? And you can utilize all the things that we're doing here in order to do that.
Oh, so many ways to assimilate noodles.
Right. Well, you want to have variety. This is not boring food. I think some people want to give it this bad rap, and it's not. I think that they really haven't opened up to the experience that they can have.
Exactly, and you hear that, viewers. This is no way near any type of boring food. It's, as you can see, it's this colorful, nutrient-dense food, which everyone should be eating, right, Cherylyn?
Absolutely, nutrient-rich, your enzymes, your minerals. That's what you're wanting to do. And when you cook your food, and in the process of raw food, you're not cooking anything past 118 degrees. And so you have some people start dehydrating and those types of things, or you're not heating if you're doing a type of soup. It's not going past, you have cold soups, but you also have soups that are heated up to 105 or 110 degrees. That way you're keeping in all the enzymes and nutrients. That's giving your body that special, the repair process, the healing process it needs. So especially people who are dealing with crisis, such as diabetes or cancer, or we call it dis-ease in the body, which creates disease. So in order to have that recovery and healing process, you're going to want to have these things more and more contained in your system to help you naturally repair. Your body will make over 700 types of medications naturally, but only if you give it what it needs.
I see. So we definitely want nutrient-packed foods to kind of ward off, I guess, any ailments, or to not even have them come into our lives. We can prevent this.
You can prevent, and if you're dealing with anything, then you can also start looking into, what type of foods you can have that are going to give you a greater healing process. So I'm just going to add a few bits of broccoli. Now, I bought these already prepped at the store, and then I was also cutting up some. But they're also, if you want to do bags, you can have the bags. There's broccoli slaw and carrot sticks as well. So one of the things I have here is I put in some of the ingredients that we have. And then also you can add different oils. I like to use olive oil or walnut oil. This is a flaxseed avocado oil. You want to add the good oils. So I'm going to do just a little bit, because I also have oils that are in my 2 sauces that I'm going to put in.
Well, what are those? Those look great, actually.
Actually, this is a Basil Pesto sauce that I prepared, and instead of Parmesan cheese, you're going to put in pine nuts.
Oh, that's
and
interesting.
I have garlic, and I have lemon juice, and then some seasoning. And this actually is an herbed nut and seed cheese. So that's how we in the raw food movement do cheeses. You're not using dairy, you're using nuts, you're using seeds, adding herbs. I put in some coconut water with it, and then it's all you grind it down in a blender. I happen to use a Vitamix blender because that one helps to get, it's such a high powered blender. Whatever one you have is great. If you're that one, you're getting a lot of people using it in the with what we do because it helps prepare
kind
things.
Kind of emulsify things a little bit more.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier and better tool for us. Now you see that this is thickened up because I did this late night or early in the morning, and so it's thickened up. So what you can do if it's too thick, but we're going to mix it up and it'll be fine. But what I'll tell people is you can always come back, add a little bit more coconut water.
And the coconut water in itself is just a nutrient.
Right, it's got great electrolytes. It has, it's higher potassium than bananas, and a lot of people are now getting really turned on to what's going on with coconut water and how coconut oils, coconut meat, a lot of this is used in the raw food movement, the raw food diet, or I say the lifestyle, in order to add a lot of, it's got triglycerides and great things. I know some people think it has saturated, but even those saturated fats are good because of the monotriglycerides. So
yeah, actually there has been, I would say in the last few years, I guess a new understanding of coconut oil, just coconut in general. And as you said, people assume that coconut is full of saturated fat, but it's good fat.
Right, good fats, and that's what we, when people I feel sometimes get confused by too much information that it's conflicting. And so
definitely
you want to be able to have them understand there are good fats and not good fats. Just that there are good carbs and not good carbs. Like there's carbs and in vegetables, but you're wanting to have the good carbs. So, and then I'm going to add a little bit more. So you see that looks like a cream sauce.
Yes, but it still looks delicious.
Right.
It looks great.
And one of the things I also wanted to show is, I cut some cucumber and some carrots on the diagonal. You can also utilize this as a dip. So
that's what I was thinking. That looked like similar to a hummus dip.
Right.
But people, like you just explained, it's just raw nuts and just so many other nutrients in there, and it just looks delicious. Actually, may I taste?
Please, please. Actually, that's why I put it in there for you. And just so you know, that is that's how the raw foodists do hummus. They use zucchini. And so yeah, it's got a little bit of sweetness. It's got some herbs in there. And I was about to put
that is wonderful.
Thank you. I was about to put some basil in, but since I was going to do the basil pesto sauce, I decided to hold back. Sometimes I have to edit myself. You want to start putting everything in, but this is about experimenting and having fun and learning more about food and the food that you really like and are passionate about.
Well, if you were to get carried away with anything, I think this is a good thing to get carried away with nutritious food.
Nutritious food, right. And learning where you can go and being inspired and all the possibilities that are out there. So.
Well, this really looks great. Cherylyn, what are we going to add in next, or is just the salad, or?
Well, I'm just going to mix this up a little bit more, and then I'm going to add some olives and some sun-dried tomatoes. And we might not have to add any more seasoning because it might just be seasoned well enough here. If you do need to add more seasoning, do it after.
Okay.
And you can
that looks, it's healthy, but it looks decadent at the same time.
You got to have it where it's pleasing to the eye. And so you can save that for the plating for the last minute, or like I'm going to mix a little bit of it in here.
And people would probably look at the salad and think it was laden with high saturated fat dressing. But it's just really fabulous to know that these things are just healthy, low in bad fats, I should say.
Correct.
And you prepared these all yourself.
All myself. I was up last night, saying, what can I come up with? And get inspired by food, and then you start going in different directions, and, one thing that you thought you might do, you might come up with something else. So, and these are just the small Niçoise olives. I just took them and sliced them up a little bit more. You can do the bigger ones. You can, and another thing, you can omit anything. If there's anything on here that you're not necessarily into, take it out and find something else. A lot of people get really stuck by saying, I don't like that vegetable, or I don't like that fruit. Well, then don't put it in there. You know, this is about learning what you like, and I'm putting in a few more pine nuts. And like I said, that has the herbs and seasoning, and it's got some pine nuts, some cashews, some sunflower seeds.
Yeah, it was
coconut
very nice
water.
and sweet.
It's
yeah.
sweet, and the coconut water, as well as I use coconut aminos, which is instead of soy sauce.
Oh.
This is coconut aminos we use. We don't use that much soy, and if it is used, it's naturally fermented. I stay away from soy just because soy is not as great for the body as a lot of people have been marketed to.
I see.
Right. So, and you know, we'll talk more about it with some of the health issues that I was dealing with, and found out that soy was creating, or it was accelerating a lot of things that I didn't necessarily need to happen. So.
Well, that's interesting. You said that's a coconut soy?
This
based?
is, yes, coconut aminos. So
okay.
it's coconut based. So, and then one other thing that I'm going to add. Now, this is Parma. It is a raw Parmesan cheese, but it's not using Parmesan or any dairy. It's using walnuts, nutritional in the yeast, and it's got some spices. So then that's another way for you to get.
Oh my gosh, how many good things does this lady have? I mean, there's just a few things I just didn't know about. Now I do.
You get some tricks of the trade. You know, I scour the earth for what are the products, and that's really what happened with me, is that.
That smells good, actually.
Yeah. So, you know, some tricks of the trade will allow you to, when a friend told me, you know, go ahead and you're going to want to take soy out of your life. And when I did, I recognized that the raw food movement is what took me there. So, and like I said, here's just a basic, the cucumber.
Oh, okay.
And when you start doing this, you start then creating some fettuccine noodles, or if I continue, I'll get wider noodles and I can do the zucchini. But if I keep going around, and then that way I could have done, whereas these are julienned, you can do some other type of pasta noodles and then have them curly.
And also, too, you can have a lot more of these noodles versus the, I guess, the conventional or traditional.
Right.
So this is, you know, you can have 2 or 3 servings.
Oh, I eat a lot of food. So, you know, a lot of people see me with like big containers and eating, and I can eat a lot more. It doesn't weigh you down. It's actually even giving you more hydration, because there's so much water nutrient content that's still in your food when you haven't cooked your nutrients out of your food. So a lot of times when you find that doctors say, oh, you have to eat or drink, you know, 10 8-ounce glasses or 8 10-ounce glasses of water. No, actually, if you're getting enough of the hydration through your food, you don't. I'm not saying don't drink water. I drink a lot of water still, but you know, when I turned to raw food, I realized, oh, you know what? I'm not drinking as much as I used to. So that's a great thing.
Yeah, everything's in there for you. The water, the nutrients. Is, you know, if you just, I guess, stick to raw foods, you can get, like you said, all the hydration you need.
Get all the hydration you need, absolutely. And so.
Okay, so are we? So what else are we gonna add? There's so many ingredients in here. Are we gonna add anything else?
You know, you can if there are other things that you want. I have fresh tomatoes, but I went ahead and added, you know, the sun-dried tomatoes.
Okay.
So either or, it just depends on how I'm feeling at the time. And like I said, I like to make it really vibrant, so I added a lot of different colors for people to be able to see that, you know, that's putting a lot of passion into it when you have food that I think is colorful and vibrant. So
this is definitely colorful, and so colorful that I'm just ready to taste this. That is delicious. This is absolutely fabulous. You're getting just a ton of nutrients. It tastes fabulous. Nothing's too salty, there's no oils or anything except for the good oils, and this is just delicious.
But it's no animal fat, and that's what people have to understand, is that you don't necessarily need a butter. You know, you don't necessarily need a cheese.